So again, if you haven't gotten a chance to make sure you guys blow up that chat. Make sure you post your websites. Make sure you post your social medias. And make sure you post where you're listening in from as well. And if you already have, make sure you guys follow somebody else. It's all about connecting the dots. It's all about making those connections and networking with people that's in your community doing some great things. We got people from all over. It's been just every single week we've really been connecting the dots with people that probably would have never even met each other. So that's the most beautiful thing about these brainstorming sessions. We're able to really just network and connect with each other on a whole nother level. And really just it really just shows that we're all in the same boat, when it comes to running a business. Every single one of you guys have some type of business or company, product or service um, that you're offering, and that's what it's all about. Showing that we all in the same boat, helping each other with different resources, and sharing knowledge. Each one teach one. So that's what it's all about. Every week we kick off our brainstorming sessions with an icebreaker question. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what the icebreaker question is. Okay, so I got a good one. I got a good one. So today's icebreaker question is: if you could choose the historical figure to be your business mentor, who would it be and why? Again, the icebreaker question is: if you could choose any historical figure to be your business mentor, who would it be and why? And I'm gonna go ahead and go down our list. Um, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and give your answer. And let me just kind of touch on that. Who we got on the list? Who we got on the list? Miss Cece, what's going on?
Hey, 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 y'all, hey.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So, if you could choose any historical figure to be your business mentor, who would it be and why?
Um, a historical. I'm gonna go with Madam C.J. Walker. I'm gonna go with Madam C.J. Walker because she first started out making hair care and skincare products, and she really took her brand to the next level for her day and time. So she is definitely someone who I would have liked to have mentored me in starting out my company.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Most definitely. Most definitely. She's definitely a great role model. Who we got next? Who we got next? DC, what's going on?
Hold on, let me turn my video on right quick. What's up with y'all?
What's going on, Ken? How you feeling?
I'm good, I'm good.
So if you would choose any historical figure to be your business mentor, who would it be and why?
Um, for me it's probably for real. Um, he just my I don't know, he just my idol as far as like fashion and the things he's accomplished outside of even him as a producer, like he debatable top five for me. He really top three for me, but it's debatable. People could have the arguments later, but far as fashion, I think he took it to a new heights. Um, just him going out to Japan and bringing bait over to the United States and just him creating his own brand and just what he doing with Louis Vuitton right now is crazy. Um, just him even designing furniture for top designers and just everything. I think he created new heights for people that's into fashion, period, for just us. And yeah, so for me it would be Pharrell. Um, always been my idol, probably since like middle high school. So for me, it's definitely Pharrell, and definitely because of what I'm trying to do now, bringing the streetwear culture, doing streetwear fashion week, and just doing the whole fashion, urban fashion culture is definitely Pharrell, and they just get his advice or suggestions on how to take things to a new height.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Big ups to Sherelle, for sure. For real. Big ups to Sherelle, for sure. Who we got next? Who we got next? So Booker.
I'm really conflicted with my answer for this question. And I'm gonna say why I'm conflicted. So I would say historical person. I would say JP Morgan. And I say that because what he did with the banking industry, the electrical industry, the technology industry in his time, in the way he just, unfortunately, although he was a monster in respect to businesses and the way he ate them up, he was successful at it. And his legacy, we still live with today. But his most trusted advisor was a Black woman that we don't really know about. And I would like to see how they interacted as far as business was concerned and what she offered him in regards to advice and how they move together.
That's super dope.
If that makes sense.
No, I love that. I love that. That's super dope. That's super dope. Who we got next? Who we got next? Dr. Adam, how you feeling?
I'm doing well. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. So I've been thinking about this one, and you guys aren't going to believe me, but I'm going to say Moses. Because if you're going to talk about someone with staying power, think about what he did. I mean, the whole Passover movement, which is basically Juneteenth reenacted, but the staying power of his message and the lasting power of his story. I mean, the story's 4,000 years old, and I bet everybody on the call knows who the hell Moses is. So if you can't have Moses as your business partner, something that's going to last for millennia, I mean, come on. The guy was able to hype up something that was unfathomable. And to lead people blindly into a desert, there's some staying power with that. And you don't have to be religious to realize that dude could market the hell out of anything. So I'm sticking with Moses.
You threw me with that one. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. What's going on, Fee?
Hola, hola, tribe.
What's going on? What's going on?
I'm over here thinking about this question myself. Who in the world would I summon? Who could I possibly summon? I'm going to go with Nikola Tesla. I'm like torn between him and Albert Einstein, honestly.
Okay.
Two amazing geniuses I would love to sit and collab with and pick their minds because they were not of the norm in their generations, and they bent rules on so many different levels and planes when it comes to business. And then you think of it now, like everything that they've taught, everything that they've done is still used today in schools. It's still used in, solar and so much more. And just turning that into something that was, kind of simple, but super extraneous in like the breakdown. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a big like information type of person, so I would have to go with those two if I had to choose.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. So real quick, if you just coming in, and if you haven't gotten a chance, please blow up that chat. Please post your websites, post your social media accounts, and post where you're listening in from. So we can make sure that we connecting the dots, that we connecting with each other. Who's next? Jay, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Bless.
To answer the question, I'm torn between two people. I believe his name is Ray Kroc and Sam Walton.
Okay.
I might give the nod to Sam Walton over Ray. Ray Kroc, for those that don't know, is the founder of McDonald's.
Mm,
And the thinking behind that is whether we like to admit it or not, McDonald's is kind of the golden standard for fast food, not as far as quality, but you can't throw a rock without hitting the McDonald's.
right.
There's almost no more easily recognizable symbol than those two golden arches that look like an M. Sam Walton, Sam Walton was so successful, you forget that he has two major success stories. Walmart, that's his. Everybody talks about Walmart. I would be hard pressed to find somebody that said that they just do not shop in Walmart ever. Then on top of that, he doubled down, went 2 for 2, and got Sam's Club. So just from the uh, notoriety alone, like when you say Walmart, you know, man, I can get everything in there. Or you say Sam's Club, oh, I can get everything. I can get it in bulk. I can get it for a much cheaper price, or whatever it is. These are staples in not only just our society, and more so like globally. McDonald's is, I think Mac is like Irish, whatever descent. But those golden arches are pretty much universal. They know McDonald's. They know even if the menu is different, they know what they're going to get. So that's probably one of those two would be who I would try to look to be able to create a brand that's big enough, that's sustained, and so easily identifiable that when people see it, it's like, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to get with that product or with that uh, business.
No, I love it. No, that makes total sense. I love that. That's a good one. That's a good one. So again, if you just tapping in, we're doing an icebreaker question, which is if you could choose any historical figure to be your business mentor, who would it be and why? Who we have next? Nakia, what's going on?
Hey, Mob. So CC took my first answer, which was Madam CJ Walker, but my second one, I would kind of say the Rockefellers because they have a hand in pretty much everything. Even from the very beginning, when they talk about generational wealth and building a legacy, I would definitely would have loved to be a fly on the wall to just be in a business meeting or be in a brainstorming meeting that they had to build Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Like as a brand, as a family, as a business, as everything. So that will be one of mine.
And the ultimate for sure. For sure, for sure. Who we got next? Who we got next? Thomas, what's going on, King?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Tommy's Taste is what's going on.
Tommy's Taste, these best tacos in the East Coast.
Okay.
But I'm a little conflicted too because I was thinking biblical at one point too. I was just like, damn, somebody historical. But I was trying to think of somebody who kind of aligned with my ideas as far as like food and music. The only person that pops into mind who I know that first started off with music and then went into acting, and then eventually he branched off and started like a chain of restaurants is Mark Wahlberg. I had an opportunity to act with him in that movie Spencer's Gift or something like that.
Okay.
So you'll see like a little bit of my head in that movie because I got picked up as a background actor. But I feel like he's also from Boston or like Dorchester. So I grew up I lived in Dorchester for a little bit. So that place was pretty rocky. It was kind of a hood in Massachusetts. So for him to come up, with a band with him and his brother and then become one of the most influential people out from New England and starting to change the restaurant stuff like that, I would definitely love to pick at his brain. And then I don't know the next person. I think my thing is somebody who holds character and then stick to what they want while building onto their business. I know The Rock. I know it's like mad kind of tacky to go with someone like these modern people.
It's all good. It's all good.
But I know with The Rock, I know he started off with wrestling and he never gave up. Everybody was doubting him and he left to make movies. And I think I mentioned this to you last week when we were talking about how even though I don't like the taste of his tequila, but because I grew up, you know, watching him and, seeing him as kind of like almost an idol, I buy his tequila. But most of the time, whenever I drink, I don't really drink to taste alcohol because in general, alcohol tastes kind of nasty. If I want to get like a nice little buzz going, I'll just choose the Rock's tequila because I don't know, something about his character and his personality. And I love that he connects with all his fans and share all their videos with people sharing his food and stuff like that. That's the type of stuff that I want to do as far as like branding with my food. When I was in Philadelphia, I had a lot of shout outs. When people were getting my tacos, people were like literally going crazy up in Philadelphia. They'll share it. They'll go out of the way and talk about my food. I'll have people record stuff saying they like a group of people saying they love my tacos and all that good stuff. But I ended up moving to Georgia because I guess God had to lead me towards another path as far as like, building myself spiritually and readying myself for something that I'm anticipating on getting a little bit bigger. So if I was to really choose between as far as character or entrepreneurs, it would be the people who stick to their character and then people are buying the stuff that they're endorsing because they love who their characters are.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we talked about that when we was talking about, just telling your story. And probably every single person on here, we probably had this conversation about, just, sharing your story and letting that, sell the product, people, and that, because at the end of the day, people buy off who you are as a person, especially these days. That's why influencers are going through the roof, and they're making all this money because of their personality and just different ways how people can really just connect. Really tapping into that is really important. But I love those answers for sure, for sure. We got love. We got love.
Oh, you didn't let us know who's your
you didn't let us know who's your
your thing, your influencer.
Your influencer. I want to make sure I got everybody on her. Real quick.
I didn't go. I think Jay. I think Jay didn't. Yeah, and then Miss Angelina.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Can Angelina hear me? What's up? Can you hear me? I guess we'll try to come back once she get her mic together. Go ahead, Mr. Fix.
Yo. Can you hear me? I'm all good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, peace and love to all my brothers and sisters on here today. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wild Out Wednesday. It's not no hump day. Everybody always say, "Oh man, we gotta get over the hump." Ooh. No, we go through the humps, man. We M.O.B. We the mob. So good to see everybody on here. Most definitely it's a blessing. Hey, I feel like I'm down south right now in Chicago. We've been getting this 90-degree weather, man. I'm like, man, hey, shoot, I'd rather be in Atlanta right now than right now shoot up here because, boy, Miles don't know how to, that's a whole nother story, man. I'm talking about everybody and their mama outside But that's good because we supposed to be in the sun. We supposed to be out there. So, I've been a lot, a little bit more uppity, a little bit myself, the last couple of weeks and everything. But I just got one person that just came as soon as you asked it, as soon as you said it. And I'm going way, way back. And I'm not, I think everybody should know who I'm talking about. But Mansa Musa. That man, I think because it's way, way, way ahead of our time, but he's part of our ancestors, and it's like what he did for the whole globe is just mind blowing. Like, he's in anybody's stories. If you go to Australia, if you go to Europe, if you go to China, Japanese, South, if you go anywhere on this globe in somebody's history, they know that man. And when I mean being innovative and being the richest man ever to be known, like, yeah, we got the Jeff Bezos, we got everybody, the billionaires, we got the Rothschilds, but Mansa Musa was the not even just the richest, but with money and all of that. He was riches in spiritual and giving back and knowing his people and knowing everybody. He was giving, like, that's just who I am in all aspects. Like, I mean, shoot, I give my last penny if I got it, whatever. So it's just like, he understood what the world needed as a collective. I think if we really go back to the bargaining system, I think we'd be well off, and then that's a whole other rabbit hole to go down. But as far as just being innovative back then, with not technology, well, it was some, it's some speculation that it was, advanced things back then too. But I'm just saying it's just in general, like how he was able to, create, all type of income or whatever you want to call it, businesses and everything. He helped the globe become what it is today. And that's what my mission is. I want to be able to help everybody and anybody globally. Like, this mob thing is going to be global. It is global right now. We got people overseas and everything that we are already working with. So it's like, I can't wait to say and see when we go to Paris, we got mob here. I can't wait to go to the DR and you see mob everywhere. And, I can't wait to go and we see, and it's just not even just the mob, but just anybody that loves the mob. Because I know we're gonna get a lot of volunteers. We're gonna get a lot of people that that be like, man, who y'all know the mob? Yeah. So I just want to thank everybody that does tune in every week. All the new people. I see some new faces today. Spread the word. I think that's one thing now. My main objective now is just to spread the word. Every week I think we should be trying to do our best to get at least maybe 2 to 3 new faces on, even if they're a business owner or not a bit. Somebody that's aspiring to, they want to get a business, but they're like on the fence. A lot of people be like, man, I'm on the fence of starting a business because I heard you got to do this, you got to do that. But if they were to get on a webinar like this and see real people in real time talking and interacting and everything, they'll feel a little bit more better. And then now what? They joining the mob, and now we're just creating more, success stories and everything like that. But Mansa Musa, I did a lot of digging on what he did, and it was just like, man, it was mind blowing. Like, the things that they did say and what they have, and a lot of his artifacts, a lot of that stuff, y'all already know is tucked somewhere. But man, I can't wait to it. It arises again. So, but yeah, Mansa Musa, my man, I love to learn from that man.
Love it. I love that. That's super dope. And these are the type of stories that we really need to tell more of as well. So that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Raise your hand if I want to make sure we got everyone. Raise your hand if you didn't go yet. Okay, Angelina. Go ahead, you just said.
Okay, I'm up.
There we go. There we go. There we go. How we going?
Greetings, everyone. It has been a full 2 weeks, and have been making some good progress. And this is a very good question because it speaks a bit about values when you're talking about starting a business and getting going. Who are you copying? How are you thinking about getting to where you're going? So I'm in the financial industry, so Bank of America would be who I would look to model, being that they are on every corner in our society, and they offer services that people in communities need, and they make them reachable and accessible. So I would like my brand to be just that way because of the services that my business offer, so that people all over the world is able to access it, especially in the different languages. Because you don't want to just make everyone speak English. People are comfortable with their language. So you want to make sure that your brand, your product can reach them where they are instead of trying to change them to acclimate to who you are. So I would love to have my business available to everyone, accessible to everyone on every corner, so is easily accessible. That's why I would model after Bank of America. Love Mansa Musa, because we all have to understand that we have to be educational philanthropists for us to be able to reach people. And that's what Mansa did. He made sure that everyone knew that it is possible for you to be rich in giving, not in coins. So I love knowing how the Rockefellers did what they did with their family, because I tell everyone it starts with your family. That's how you grow your business. You start at home, then you take it out into the lab and make sure you process everything through with the 3 Ps to make sure that your business is continuously being taken care of. You don't start the business, walk away, let somebody else manage it, and think it's going to be successful. You have to be totally dived into it. It has to be like your family. It has to be a member, just like your house has to be a member of your family. It has to be taken care of. So, and I think all of those express that you have to be totally in it, as they say, to win it with the lottery.
Definitely. I love that. I love that. We got a couple of hands up, but I want to make sure we get Ellie first real quick before this. Ellie, can you hear me? Ellie, can you hear me? All right. Dr.
Hello.
Ellie.
Hey,
There's
it's
L. I'm
actually
sorry.
L. How y'all? I was trying to figure this out. I'm new to this, and this is Fee speaking for me. How you doing, friend? Tribe actually was invited by Fee. Hatley,
Hey,
y'all. How y'all doing?
how you doing? How you doing? So it's L.
Good. My first time here.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I just want to get your feedback on the icebreaker question, which is if you could choose a historical figure to be your business mentor, who would it be and why?
Historical figure to be my I'm really like the first thought that came to my head was it's Swami Prabhupada. Y'all, this is he's like a devotee. I practice Krishna consciousness, and this person, I guess for lack of a better words, I would call him a monk. He's just a devotee. He brought us the lessons of Krishna and everything, and so this is how I was exposed to my brand, my healing, and everything. Everything has changed, you know, from my business perspective, it's changed because I'm dealing with healing, and I want to, it was all business before, but now it's like my heart is into, I was agreeing with Angeline, what she was saying. It's like I really believe in being a gift and being rich in gifts, and that's what it's about, and that's what Swami Prabhupada has taught me. So he's not famous, really. He's not rich. He just was really devoted to the people, and that's where I am, and that's what my brand is about. So I would definitely learn some things from him because he touched a lot of people,
Love
and
it.
it wasn't even business, but it was definitely it's everything to do with business, but it was from a spiritual and a mental place. So that's where I am. I would definitely sit down with Swami Prabhupada.
Love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do my research as well. I love, learning new things and, kind of learning from just people that I haven't heard of as well. That's each one teach one. That's what it's all about. So I'm gonna definitely do my
Yeah,
research.
absolutely. Absolutely.
What else we have on here? I'm about to mess up another name. Is it Gawani?
Yeah, peace, brother. Go on knee. Hey, man.
You doing? How you doing?
How you doing, bro? All is well, man. All is well, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if you was to choose a historical figure to be a business mentor, who would it be and why?
A historical figure to be a business mentor. I'll be real with you, man. I got a kind of unorthodox way of looking at things, so I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. And Fee sent me, man. Shout out to Fee. Yurt. That's my peoples. He lots of Fee. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna flex. I would pattern my business model after Frank Lucas.
Oh, I love it.
And like I said, it ain't about the politics. I'm talking about his business model, like what he did. I would pattern. I would want to sit down and have a conversation with him.
Definitely.
For sure.
I love it. I love it. Definitely. Who else we
Ready.
got? I love that. And I have checked out some of his interviews, like he both be on something for sure. Adam, I know you had your hand raised. What's going on?
You said in interviews.
I just want to reflect on something real quick because we've talked about some of the mentors people have here have been industries that have been very, very bad to people. I'm not going to point out Bank of America. I'm not going to point out Chase. I'm not going to point out the Rockefellers because, pointing fingers is bad. But when you look at organizations that have a history of doing horrible things, Chase, yeah, you guys mentioned Chase has done many horrible things, but they've done horrible things recently because redlining didn't end in Chicago until the aughts. So there's a long history where those organizations have to fight back. Even though they are successful businesses, they became successful businesses on the backs of the little people and screwing people over and propelling one type of person above all the others. And as much as you might think, oh, wow, those are really huge, great organizations, they didn't start off that way. And that's just something to reflect on when you're looking at who you actually want to be like. Because I personally wouldn't want to be like an industry that got broken up for being a really bad monopoly, where they would bring the price of their, let's just say, oil down so low that everybody around them went out of business. And then they bought those pumps, jacked up the price. Those are the kind of things I wouldn't want to be a part of. Banking, I wouldn't want to be part of an organization that was prejudiced in the way they actually did it. So it's just something to be mindful of when you're actually looking at how businesses do things. It's kind of like Nike. You might like their products, but a whole bunch of them were made by little kids in China. It's things like that that you have to take into consideration when you're looking at it. Just 2 cents.
I love that.
I would like to speak in regards to what was just stated.
Definitely.
So, I get what you're saying in regards to how all of these businesses started, and even Mansa Musa was not his hands were not blood free, but in a commercial society, in a society that is basically based on capitalism, because that's where we live. We live in a place that's based on capitalism. We are talking about businesses and people that have done business and things that we want to learn, not that we want to be like them or do exactly what they did, but actually learn. Now, I know who JP Morgan is. I know that JP Morgan killed his dad and did all of these atrocious things to people to get where he was. My whole thing is this. I want to see the interactions and what made people move like that. Like what made people, follow him, or what gave him the ability to get away with the stuff he got away with. I want to see what was going on in the background of how he was moving. How did he get the ability to bail the United States out of the Great Depression? Who gave him that power? How did he get that? How did he not only bail the United States out of the Great Depression, but how does he still own a good amount of the United States to be able to move like he moved? Because like these are things that if you don't research, you don't know. That's why Chase don't never come up when it's time to go and get people for mortgage issues and things of that nature. So I feel like our answers were not necessarily us saying, oh, we want to be just like this person, blase skip, but they're more or less who has a business model that you feel is successful enough to where you want to learn how in fact they made it that far and built the empires that they built. I think we all are aware that any business that we have in the United States is based on all kinds of things. But if we boycott everything, we would have no power, we would have no gas, and you would store your money in a mattress. You would never ever use a bank.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I just want to put that out there because I'm always mindful of whatever I pick or whatever I choose to say or whoever I choose to study. That's a thing.
Those some great points.
So I just
two great points.
And I hope you don't take it as me picking on you, because I wasn't. I was just saying a thing. I mean, I would actually have trouble if someone said, I want to be like the Dole family. That would be problematic. The other things, they're not problematic. It's just things to think about, because nowadays, most of us are too ethical to do most of the things that predecessors have done. That's all. So I wasn't picking on you, and I hope you don't take it that way.
No, I would never take it that you were picking or anything. I just wanted to state that I understand that you're saying being mindful, but sometimes when somebody says be mindful, it is a opinion that they have that you haven't completely researched or looked into whatever it is that you just stated. And I'm just stating that I already know the background of what I chose. And when I spoke on it, I was completely aware of what I was speaking of. So that was all I was saying.
Most definitely.
So it was never that.
I was thinking the same way with the McDonald's story as well. You know, knowing that story, you know, I that really popped up to me as well. I believe who said that? I think Mr. Fix It. One of you guys brought up McDonald's, but that was one of the things that was brought up to me. You know, that I thought about, because I'm like, yo, that was a crazy story. How that is basically a story of somebody's business getting stolen from them. You know, it is a dirty game. You know, business is just as dirty as the streets. So I think, you know, but, you know, even with that being said, to touch on both aspects, I think there's lessons to be learned on both ends, you know, knowing these stories, and just seeing how they was done bold, you know, and had a whole business stolen from them. It teaches you, you know, as well, like what not to do as well in the future, or what to do, you know, even stories with, you know, like Steve Jobs. You know, I would love to sit down with Steve Jobs to figure out, you know, how to get my company not, you know, taken from me. You know, same thing with GM. Same thing that happened with, you know, I would love to sit down with, you know, GM and figure out how to, you know, not have the things, you know, and they were some, you know, all of the, you know, auto industry owners was some rough folk. You know, it's a rough game, and business is rough. I don't think I think, you know, in order to even get to a certain level in business, you have to be a dragon and some. I don't think you got to be a bad person or nothing, but I feel like you have to have definitely tough skin. It's not an easy thing to be an entrepreneur. And you know, it becomes a survival game. It becomes a Game of Thrones. So it becomes sometimes certain situations is no longer about ethics. It's about survival. Is your baby gonna eat? Is your grandchild, is your kids gonna survive in this tough world? And that's really what it all, you know, boils down to, depending on who you're talking about. You know, so my first answer actually, Kia took my first answer when she brought, you know, the the Rockefellers, you know, different things like that. Of course, yeah, they was, you know, they was evil and as well, but at the same time, like they created the educational system. How do you come up with these systems that still used to this day? You know, I think that would be one of my questions as well. You know, and really just who did you have around you that really just thought about, these things as well. And then I also thought about Dr. Sebi. You know, that's another person that I would love to sit down with and, you know, really just kind of get his wisdom as well, because that's another person. Somebody spoke on this earlier, you know, far as, you know, really just being a gift to, you know, the world, you know, letting that speak for itself. So those are a few of mine, you know, to get my answers out there. But I think, you know, everybody had a great answer, you know, based on a great thing, you know, whether it's, ethical or whatever the case may be. I think, business gets gray. I don't think business is black and white. I think it gets very gray. And I think, you know, it can also boil down to, uh, views, which side are you viewing it from, at the same time. I see we had a couple hands raised. Let me get you Angeline,
Yes, I can.
going forward.
I think that this icebreaker is so important to
Mhm.
this group because we're talking about businesses and how businesses start and some of the things that can transpire during that time. And this group here allows individuals to learn structure of businesses, what you should not do, how you should not. And knowing those things even after you've started your business makes that important. So when McDonald's went through the tribulation that they did, it's just that they didn't know business. And the person who did have them turn their business over to them knew business, knew how to do business, and he knew how to go about it globally.
Yeah.
So they did not want to move in that fashion. So he was like, I'm not going to let this just lie on the table. I'm going to make the move for that. So this mob here allows us to learn these things and get truly involved in business and have a structure for it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I love that. I love that. Same thing with Motorola. You know, they didn't know the business. Same thing with Apple. Steve Jobs, he wasn't the one who built the software. You know, he had a team of, developers. He just knew the business and he knew how to negotiate, make, great moves, great plays at the end of the day. Great quarterback, if you would say. I think that's really, it boils down to, just having a family. I think we all, I think every story has common denominators, even, from Steve Jobs to Frank Lucas, they knew how to build and manage a team. Even when Frank Lucas, went back home and, got all his family members and moved them to New York, that's powerful. And not only moved them to New York, but trained them on, the product and how, the system that he had in place already. I think that's a skill that a lot of people really just don't have. I think, no matter what the product is or what the service is. I see we got another hand raised. What's going on, Jay?
I like these kind of conversations. There are three quotes that I really like. One comes from my grandfather, who is an entrepreneur. He said there's only two types of people in the world when it comes to capitalism: those that's getting stepped on and those that's wearing the boots. And I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. He told me another quote, but I think he got it from Disney. He was like, either you're going to build your dreams or somebody else is going to pay you to build theirs. And that, coming from my grandfather being an entrepreneur, it kind of hits a little different to be like, wow, well, I mean, he started this in 1987. I wasn't born until 98. But being able to actually grow up and watch him, I'm like, wow, you basically planted a seed and, watered it and everything else. That's kind of amazing. So that kind of put the battery in my back to want to start my business. And the third quote, I don't know where it came from. I'm sure somebody can find it. It says, ignorance/incompetence is the most expensive thing you will pay for, because not knowing can cost you everything. And, hearing all of these different perspectives about, well, this person did this shady, this person did that. Those three quotes kind of came to the forefront of my mind because, unfortunately, like you said, somebody's got to eat. Capitalism, somebody got to lose. So, more so kind of where do we start drawing the line at what is healthy competition and what's heartless? What's considered to be, okay, that was just a good, true business move, or that person has no soul. So I think that's kind of where I know I kind of look at it and be like, well, where is that line that I kind of say, okay, I would do this to save my business, but it would be at the expense of what? What is that cost to benefit ratio for me? And I feel like a lot of times, sadly, the businesses that we have all mentioned, everybody's got dirt. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet. It's more so like, well, they did that, but like, why did they do that? Did they have to do that? Did they, like, was that a move that they had to keep the lights on and they had no other option? Or did they just do that because they knew they could? Because we can go down the list. We can talk about the Rockefellers. We can talk about Carnegie's, the Vanderbilts. We can talk about all of these powerful families that, did these horrible things. But that has nothing to do with me personally, because I need to know how you got to where you got, which is cool. But more so for me, like, when I'm in that situation, when I'm in that lead seat, when is enough enough? So I just wanted to share those three quotes. Hopefully, one of those three, all of those three, maybe none of those three help somebody. Just to kind of weigh in their decision making processes.
I love that. I love that. And you said a lot that a lot I've already thought about, even with what we do. I think that's why, over the years we formatted, we went back to the drawing board, and we rebranded, even with me, a few times, I've rebranded, just recalculating how to go forward, because there's a lot of things that a lot of different sacrifices you do have to make, especially being an entrepreneur. And sometimes sometimes I have these battles with myself, like, man, I don't think I'm gonna ever get rich, quote unquote. I think, I think, and over the years, I stopped chasing that. I started, chasing, purpose, and started chasing, true happiness, which is, really just shedding the light, on somebody else, putting the light into somebody else. What I found, I love piping people up. I love, leveling somebody up, taking them to that next level. I genuinely love that. I love seeing people progress. Even when I don't got nothing to do with it, I love seeing people progress. And, it was I just always been like that. So I think, it really moved us into a whole nother level to where it's just like, look, if it happens, it happens. I know exactly what we're going to do, which is hey, give back more. That I think that I think because I think even with the money, once it really just bring out the real in you, the real person in you, and I'm a giver anyway, so I think, even if we did reach that milestone, a certain milestones, it would just be elevating what we already doing. But I think it's all about the state of mind, figuring out, hey, because I also know millionaires who's not happy. They got a bunch of stuff going on. So, and I've also I do a lot of research on these you know successful juggernaut businesses, and there was a lot of sacrifices and a lot of things that they had to go through as well to get where they get where they at. And it's just like, man, some things is like, do you are you willing to sacrifice that? Are you willing to sacrifice, your family and time with your kids? And, now, you done worked you done worked all these years to elevate your company. And now when your kid finally grown and you rich and everything, you got everything, finally your kid hates you because he don't know you or she don't know you. You never been around for it. I've seen so many different cases of that. And so it's like, where do we draw the line as far as, the sacrifice that we have to make, when it comes to being an entrepreneur. So I think, that's a great question that arose from this icebreaker. But I want to move it on. I don't want to hold you guys up too long. I want to move it on. I want to actually do what we've been doing for these last couple of weeks. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to give a short introduction about what you guys are doing. And then I want you guys to touch on what some of your challenges, and then, kind of go from there. So real quick, I'm just going to go down the random list. We have Ace May, what's going on?
What's up? How you doing?
Bless. So
Good.
real quick, give a short introduction about who you are and what you do, and talk about some of your challenges that you've been having.
Okay, cool. So hey everybody, how y'all doing? So I'm an actress, singer, entertainer. And so as far as my business, that's pretty much what it revolves around right now, my personal career. But I do want to expand it more, just entertainment wise in general, into film and things like that. But as of right now, my main focal point is building my career up as an artist first. But and you said to share like some of the things I've been going through with my business. Is that what you said?
Like maybe a challenge that you've been having, basically.
Okay. Oh, that's a perfect question because I was just having this conversation with my girl last night. But my challenge lately has been expanding. And I realized a couple of days ago that I was kind of having a fear of expanding my business because, when you're starting out a business and when you're pretty much a one-man band and you got to handle all these different areas and departments and, all these different categories that you're not, like that are not necessarily your forte, you know what I'm saying? But you still at the end of the day have to teach yourself. You still got to learn, you got to educate. And you gotta, be willing to sit down and really pour into all these different categories. And sometimes you can feel like you're, spreading yourself too thin. And I feel like that was part of my issue. And I just literally sat down with my girl last night and I was like, you know what? I can honestly say that because it feels like the universe is like pushing me to invest more into my business than I already am in different ways or ways that I kind of was avoiding. And just like, I honestly feel like I'm realizing like I have a fear of expanding it bigger. And that fear is coming from the fact that right now I do most of these things on my own. And the idea of it being bigger than, what it already is, it's overwhelming for me, So just right now my focal point is take everything one step at a time, do do what you know needs to be done for that next day or that next week or whatever, and kind of just, you know, keep it, stop looking at the bigger picture as much, because the bigger picture can kind of overwhelm me when I realize how much stuff needs to be done. So, you know, just kind of like simplifying it more.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
yeah, I think right now that's kind of where my head has been at. But, you know, when you don't really know for sure how to get to that next level in your career or your business or whatever, when you don't necessarily know how it's going to happen, but you know it has to happen, and you know that it is happening, it's like you don't know what it takes until it gets there. You know what I'm saying? And all I know right now, like, since I've been managing my own career and my own business, it's been, you know, it's just been me, and it's been very hard work, and it's been like, you know, a little bit of a struggle, like, you know,
all
mentally.
right.
So,
We all
you
been.
know, like in my mind, that's all I've been thinking about lately is like, oh my God, if I expand this stuff bigger, which I know I should in my heart, but you know, that's that fear, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's all I've been thinking about. But she was kind of telling me, like, you know, you gotta let that go. Like, all the pieces will come together, the team that you need will start to come together, but you have to let go of that belief that you have to do it all yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I talk about it all the time. You know, I think we all been there as well, where you just hit a ceiling. I think
Mm-hmm.
one thing you said is taking it one day at a time as well, because one thing about the game, it always adapts. So, you know, you're looking at the bigger picture, but the bigger picture may change. So this whole time,
Yeah.
working on this bigger picture that becomes obsolete once you find a bigger purpose or multiple purposes. So I think that's one thing, you know, that where, you know, taking it one day at a time will really help
Mm-hmm.
to really figure out, well, take, first of all, take, you know, we've talked about this, and I've talked about this with other artists, as far as, you know, moving too fast, you know, take one day at a time, and really figure out what parts of the team, what departments do you need, and what do they do, what are the duties, because
Right.
that, you know, they will fall into place, because you'll put yourself in a position where now you're interviewing everybody that comes into your life, and you might put
Yeah.
position where they didn't even know they played, but that person that's in your face also, oh yeah, I could be your manager. They're really not qualified, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not taking that step back to, you know, taking it one day at a time to pay attention. You might be like, oh, well, you know what? You want to be my manager? Let's go ahead and be my manager. Now you got all these different things that's going wrong
Mm-hmm.
versus
Yeah.
and step back, like you said, and really just figuring out, well, okay, what pieces do I need actually right now, me? Because I tell a lot,
Right.
like, right now, you don't need a manager. You get what I'm saying? Especially, you know, nowadays, sometimes you might just need to work on your craft, or sometimes you might just need to work on your visuals, or sometimes you just like we talked about, you just sometimes you just need to work on the community aspect. The
Right.
why
Mm-hmm.
why is people gonna rock with you? What are you doing for the community? Like,
Right.
why is they gonna listen to your music? Because you dope artist, but now it's like, who is Ace May? How do we
Mm-hmm.
put a story out there as well? Like, you know, that's the next thing is, you know, as well. So you know, figuring out, you know, these different little things one step at a time. And then yeah, everything else gonna come because people is gonna see that you got it figured out, you know.
Right.
So yeah, most definitely. I don't want to keep everybody up, but I appreciate you for sure, for sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I love that. Who we got? Who we got? Angeline, real quick. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, everyone. I, with my presidential campaign, is finding it hard to get past the shadow banning. I am definitely working to get my message out through our social media, since 1.3 billion of us are there. And that's how most of us are receiving our information. I just went over working with my campaign manager today, realizing that I cannot use my page to be able to put stuff out. So I need to reach out to put like members of the mob and go to their pages, put my information there, and then let them share. Because being that I'm being shadow banned on my sites, my information is not getting out. I'm reaching 3 to 5 people, and that's on everything that I do there. But when we tried it out today, I gave it and put it on her site, and she got more reactions on her site than I did on mine. So learning, like we said before, once you're in business, you still have to learn business while you're there. If you keep doing the same thing and nothing's happening, you have to do something different. So I am finding that out. We worked and researched and learned to do it that way. But I want to iterate that what we look to do is have one person connect with 3 other people and have them come in and then have them share it out that way, because math works. It always does. And so we need to make sure that once we try something, like we talked about our icebreaker before, once you start something, you have to keep working it until it works. So I definitely need to make sure that I'm sharing with others, not just sharing through my own mediums to get that information out. And sharing does help to grow your business.
Most definitely, most definitely. You should also, whoever's managing your social media, or if you have any social media managers, they should look into why it's getting shadow banned, and then switch up your social media calendar. It's a lot to that. We also got people that that's on our team that work with social media management and marketing. So if that's something that you need help with down the line, that's something that we could talk about and figure out why the page is shadow banned and what we need to do to get it back in good standing. And then, influencer marketing is also, definitely what you need. You definitely need other people endorsing and sharing and, collaborate, doing more collaborations on your social medias, with, other influencers that's aligning with your bottom line, at the end of the day. So, yeah, I think putting together a social media calendar would really help with that, as well as help with staying consistent with the type of content you're going to post, and staying consistent with, getting your page, maybe getting more people engaging on your page. That could be reason why it's shadow banned. Not enough engagement as far as people actually commenting and commenting back in a certain amount of time. And the algorithm is always changing. It's a forever thing, full-time job when it comes to social media management, digital marketing, for sure. Another thing is, really just getting everything back to your website as well. I always say, we have to strengthen our our digital real estate. So bring people back to, your actual website will also, kind of help with that. But yeah, I mean, just like they did it with Louis Farrakhan, a bunch of different other leaders, they're gonna shadow ban you. You just gotta get it, you gotta do more influencer marketing, getting on, like you said, getting on other people's pages and doing more collabs.
Most definitely. I would definitely be diving into that.
Most definitely, most definitely. Who we got next? Who we got next? Who we got next? Let me get Fee real quick. What's going on, Tribe?
Hey, Tribe.
How you feeling? How you feeling? So give
Hey,
them
what's up?
give them a little
What
background.
happened?
No, just give them a little bit of background about what you're doing, and then talk about one of the challenges that you've been having.
So, hey everybody, it is your holistic wellness guru, Fee. I am a specialist. I specialize in luxury holistic wellness as well as glamping experiences and momming at the same time. I hear Autumn Sky. She's probably about to come in here. But yeah, I make natural soaps, body scrubs, hydrating souffles. I have everything from yoni steams and more. And I also am doing a glamping experience here in Georgia. So let's see. This coming Saturday, I have Afro Soak I Love. Shout out to Kia. Also, she's going to be there too, I hear. So we have Afro Soak I Love coming up this coming Saturday. Tickets are on Eventbrite. I also have Glamping After Dark on June 29th through 30th. We're going to do a kickback at the swim park for Autumn's 4th birthday party for those that want to come in and join in on the festivities. I'm going to try to make it to field day this weekend, hopefully, fingers crossed, with Cece, so I can hopefully make it to that. And yeah, just, you know, coming out, communing, connecting with the tribe. Here she comes. What I tell you. Come on in. Come on in. Just making more memories, making people feel beautiful for a living, and of course, this one right here. So that's what I have going on. As far as challenges. Sure. As far as challenges are concerned, as some of you know, my mixer went out at my first glamping event. So I'm still trying to get a replacement mixer currently. Everybody's in here now. Sorry, y'all. Got a dog between my legs trying to move around. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And there we go. So yeah, this is the crazy world of Fee. And I hope to see you guys really soon. Hope to give you guys some tips and tricks, and also, you know, spice up things in the bedroom with your partner and some more. So yeah, hopefully to see you guys.
Most definitely, most definitely. You guys, matter of fact, Fee, can you post the Eventbrite link in the chat?
Yeah, I can send that.
Yeah,
Do
make sure
that.
you guys support Fee, especially with the glamping experience. It's super dope, especially if you got a couple, if you're a couple, or you know, if you got just the whole.
I was reading Elle's message. She said, "Paul's dog between my legs." Yeah, I got a new puppy. His name is Zeus, and he is all over the place. So
Good.
they all just ran in here and bombarded me in the studio. Let me see. I'll send that. Let me find the link and I'll send it to you. I actually just sent it out yesterday and today again. So
yeah, most definitely.
Gotcha.
And then
Gotcha.
on the beta round for her new website, the revamped website, shortly. But
I'm excited, y'all. Listen, we were in the lab yesterday on the photo shoot with the mob. Listen. They are really taking it to the next level, y'all. I am super, super excited. And yeah, ain't nobody like the mob, okay?
I'm excited. Bro. You got some fire.
There we go. I had to find the thing first. All right, I just put it in the chat. Maybe not. Hold on. Let me Yes, Adam, thank you. Yeah, we had a great time yesterday. Nothing but good vibes. My product shoot was amazing. Delano did some amazing shots, y'all. Listen, I was not expecting what I was seeing. So I'm really, really excited. Plus, he's gonna, you know, pull me away from having to pay all these fees with Shopify and stuff and do my new website and all that. I don't have to worry about no SEOs and all this extra stuff that I really don't know about. I get to really just be in my craft and work and, you know, just be another beacon of light in this crazy world we live in.
That's what it's all about. It goes back to, you know, really just being a family, you know, everybody coming together with their skills. Like we was talking about yesterday, like, hey, look, you don't know nothing about the cameras. I don't know nothing about mixing up all these different ingredients and making it smell good. And yeah, I don't know nothing about that. You got that. My life was depending on it. I would just be dead because I don't know nothing about it. So we all got our different skills, and you know, we just got to figure out, you know, how to come together and have a structure on how to come together to grow it out and, you know, build it out. It's a process, you know, as you proceed.
Absolutely.
The process and checking off the boxes on the list, just going down it. Same thing with Kia, you know, she's been, you know, really just doing wonderful for us, like just checking off boxes and, you know, really just making sure that we just sticking to the process and watching it unfold is like the most beautiful part. It becomes
absolutely
worth it. You be like, man,
shout out to all the participants too. I wanted to say that too, Jelena, not to cut you off, but shout out to all the participants. I just love y'all. Shout out to y'all making it happen, getting up, doing what needs to be done, checking off the boxes, tapping in, checking in, and really just staying obedient. A lot of people don't talk about this, but when you are in your gifts, when you're working in your gift, it can be taken away from you if you are not obedient in it. So shout out to each and every one of you on the call today. Shout out to the tribe that popped in and showed up, that I invited out as well. And just, spreading the love, spreading the resources, really. Like, who else wouldn't want to go somewhere and you got free, like literally free resources right at your fingertips, literally. So stay obedient. I know it's midday week, as they call the camel's hump. I know, like Mr. Fixer said, we're gonna go right on through that, darn. We're gonna go right on through it like it ain't even here. And I'm trying to make it to where every day is Saturday. Every day is Saturday instead of every day is Monday. That's what I'm trying to work towards. So every day is Saturday. Every day is Saturday.
We need to put that on some merch. Every day is Saturday. We need to get the philosophy every day.
Every day is Saturday. I'm telling you. Every day is Saturday.
Real
and
quick,
if it ain't delicious, I don't want it. Y'all know the slogan. If it ain't delicious, I don't want it.
It got to be the first shirt. So real quick, let me get Kia on here real quick.
Definitely gonna get that.
Hey, tribe. It's Kia, the art junkie. So what I do, I'm an art curator here in Atlanta. I am currently working with the Future Gallery, with Eugene Bird, putting together shows. And hopefully soon I'll be down on Peter Street working with Maya Bailey with his new gallery he's opening. So everyone keep your fingers crossed, because that's really a big deal for me. That's something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. And other than that, I've been working on some great content with Delano and Chrissy. So you guys check out the link on YouTube. I have a couple of interviews up already from artists that I've done interviews with, as well as Eugene. And just be on the lookout for more content, more art shows, and everything like that. And make sure you guys follow Art Junkie.
Yes, ma'am.
Some of the challenges that, well, recently, for me, it's just basically balancing it all out, trying to how to best make my 9 to 5, how to have that finance my business and to eventually do this full time without having a 9 to 5. So that's one of my biggest challenges right now. I've been working with Mr. Fix It. He got your girl up with her credit score. So I've already started the process for that. So now it's just about me continuing to build my credit up, build my business credit so I can get these loans and these grants to have even more finances to just do this full time and eventually open up a gallery. So I got a lot of things in the works. Shout out to the M.O.B. Shout out to Mr. Fix It. They have both been very instrumental in just building my brand, helping me build my business, helping me get my finances and my credit in order. So I'm super excited.
Yes. Can you post those YouTube links when you get a chance in the chat too? To your lady.
Yes, I can post them now for you. Thank you.
Definitely, most definitely. You know, just keep going up. You already got it. We ain't gotta hope and carry, man. You already got it, whatever you want. You already got it. So if you want to be on Peter Street, I already know you.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm super excited.
You know, that'll be a dope interview as well. And if you guys know, if you guys know any artists, you know, that you feel like we should, you know, really tell their story, that's super dope. Definitely get with Kia, so we can get them an interview, get some of their art pieces showcased, and hopefully get their art pieces sold as well. So make sure you tap in with our art junkie for sure, as well as art gallery owners as well. If you know anybody that own an art gallery as well, get with Kia. We would love to get them interviewed and kind of maybe come cover some of their exhibits and link some of the artists that we're working with, and put some of their artwork in their exhibits as well. That would be super dope. Who we got? Hey, Mr. Fix It, real quick, real quick. Come on, real quick. Go ahead. I definitely want to talk about some, some of the great things that you've been doing. And, yeah, kind of go from there. And talk about some of the challenges that you've been having.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Yep. So I'm loving it, man. I've been telling everybody now when everybody been calling me, hey Darwin. So I got a couple of nicknames, but I be like, who? Who? And they be like, oh, Mr. Fix It. Oh, yeah, I forgot Mr. Fix It. So, I'm doing my best now just to, keep branding Mr. Fix It, keep branding it and branding it and branding it and saying it and saying it. So when anytime somebody be asking me my name now, like when I'm out and everything, they be like, oh, yeah, so what's your name? I be like, Mr. Fix It. They be like, who? What? I'm like, yeah, Mr. Fix It. They like, oh, okay, so what you fix? I say everything. No, I'm just playing. I'll be like, yeah, no, credit, business credit, assets, trust, like anything in the financial literacy realm and industry, that's what, pretty much my bread and butter and my purpose. We wasn't taught a lot of things growing up when it comes down to and entering and understanding what, you know, this game that they call credit or what they call financial literacy. So I dug deep so long for the last maybe 5 years now. Also working with different mentors. I got to shout out my mentor, Mr. Him 500. I got to shout out my mentor, Mr. Dion Coopwood. I got to shout out my mentor, Mr. Delano Bruton. So I got a lot of, people around me that, eventually, invested not even just into me, but into the movement that we doing and everything. So one thing I can say, I know I said it last week, but I have a new one as well too, as far as a challenge that I can say what's going on now is um, knowing that like when I'm speaking to clients or just having a simple conversation, I have to mirror my people. Sometimes I get ahead, I get so excited, speaking about what it is that I'm talking about. But sometimes when I'm looking at them and they looking at me, or when they pausing, or they be like, I got a question, I'm like, oh, okay, I got to bring it down a little bit, sometimes. So now I've been using a lot of analogies more versus just going straight in, just thinking that they gonna know what I'm talking about. So some of the times I be speaking foreign language to them sometimes, or most of the time. So I be having to, take a step back and just slow down. And, I always, now my first question is, can you tell me anything that you know about what credit is? That's the first thing I ask them. And then, sometimes they give me the answer, and whatever their answer is now I know, okay, I can either go up here, or I got to be down here, or I got to come all the way down here. So that's what I've been working on lately now, a lot lately now, because a lot of people have, been inquiring because of they seeing what's going on. A lot of people are starting to wake up now. I love it, but I don't love it because it's like now it's like a lot of, unlearning and relearning with my people. So it's like, this is where like I gotta get uncomfortable. I gotta make sure that I don't, overstep, what they be thinking about sometimes. So it's all about just helping and doing as much as I can. So other than that, anybody in the mob that want to have a consultation, I'm about to put my number in the chat. You guys can text me personally. I'm gonna give y'all my personal number. Y'all can text me, and basically what we want to do is, like I said, me and Delano are still on the verge of helping at least 30 businesses before the year is out to get funded. So we know Kiosha is one on the way now. Kia is one on the way. A few other people are on the way as well too. So we still working with Erica. I still been plugged in with the Operation Hope, and also just helping anybody start to open up bank accounts and get access to lines of credit right now, because a lot of people right now, you guys can get access to some lines of credit or credit cards just using your EIN number. You don't necessarily have to use your PG as a your social and everything. So I'm super excited to just do that. And I think Delano, if you want to, we can do like I say, a separate Zoom and get everybody on, that needs somewhat of that help, and do some actual business upkeep stuff, and then pretty much just go from there. So I text my number. You guys just text me your name and business when you guys text me, so we can set that up. We got to set those consultations up as soon as possible. So, like I say, we can get the ball rolling.
Most definitely, most definitely. I also want to do something for our mob affiliates as well. And so it's a lot of we have a lot of affiliates that we got a lot of love for that's still been rocking with us. And they in the middle, they trying to they in the middle of becoming a mob member, and we still got a lot of love for our affiliates out there. So I want to do something special for them, maybe a free consultation with you or something like that, to kind of get them just to get the ball rolling a little bit more. Because it's a lot of different reasons why and they might not just be ready to kind of take that step to really just get all the way and merge. And a lot of the times is because of the funding and not being having access and different things like that. So I definitely want to put more people in a position to just be able to take these bigger steps. I want everybody to be able to take it up. Not just our members, but everybody that's been rocking with us. I love I love our affiliates too. So sometimes that's really our main thing. That's stopping us. It's like, man, I want to. We got all these different ideas, but it's like, yo, look, I really want one of y'all to be one of our first diamond, members, to where we can really just go in with a $50,000 budget and really put together a big campaign, or really put together a big activation for your company. It's a lot of great things that we can really do, on that level. But I understand, like, sometimes you just don't got, we just don't got it. You get what I'm saying? So I definitely want to, get more people in the position to where we can make some bigger moves. Now we got the resources, we got everything that we need. We got the time, we got the product, we got the services. Now it's time to really really be able to put together these bigger projects, and put together some of these proper campaigns, and really be able to compete. It's some companies, it's a lot of companies that even that we work with. They're putting a lot of money into their advertisement, into their marketing, and really just being out there. So I really want to get everybody up to that level to where it's nothing for us to really just do a lot of these different activations. Like, we got New York Fashion coming up, we got Art Bags in Miami right around the corner, we got a lot of just different things that's coming up, a lot of these major festivals that I want to see you guys sponsoring. I want to be able to put together some creative advertisement campaigns, and really get the right influencers involved, and do a national billboard, advertisement for you guys, and just different things like that. So, that's the whole point of our memberships, to kind of give you guys a taste of, really how to kind of, properly advertise and market your company. And then having these resources, a lot of people don't have access to a lot of these different resources, like, a production team, or they don't have access to a magazine, publication company, or they don't have access to billboards that they can, program at any time. So, or they don't have access to a Mr. Fix It, or, just different things like that. So that's the whole point, giving you guys access to these different resources. But also, everybody just kind of making sure that we can kind of utilize our resources to just keep taking it up, keep climbing the ladder. Because it's some big things that we could be doing, every single one of you guys. And I'm pretty sure everybody want to take it to the next level. So we still got that. We still on that mission. We still on that mission to get at least 30 businesses funded. So, hey, real quick, Mr. Fixer, can you put that Operation Hope link in the chat as well? Either you or Q. I don't know if you actually been rocking Operation Hope. I know put their link. But yeah, their goal is to fund at least 1 million businesses. So I want you guys to really just kind of tap into them as well. That's another resource that every single one of you guys should be taking advantage of. Yeah. All right, who we got next? Who we got next? Speaking of Adam, real quick, Adam, can you unmute and talk about what you do, and then talk about some of the challenges that you got?
Okay, so let me update you guys on the Central Georgia Coalition for Black Businesses. The Black Business and Community Expo has been moved from August to September 21st. So if you have a product that you actually want to sell, or you want to have a breakout session, or you want to do live entertainment, anything like that, or you have a food truck, or if you know anyone that does any of that kind of stuff, invite them over to check it out. I put the link in the chat. Also, I put in a link in the chat for a grant program through SKIP, where I was just told I'm moving to phase 2 for a $10,000 business grant, and who can't use free business money. So you guys should check that out. And then my business itself, well, I use modular technology to build affordable housing, is my main gig. And right now, dealing with some hiccups with zoning and stuff, but working in Macon and working really close with the mayor of Warner Robins right now. And hopefully Ms. Payne, I'll be able to help her out with putting some stuff in South Fulton. And we got a bunch of other little things going on. But if you know anyone that's in the game for building affordable housing, hunt me down. So how was that for quick?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Most definitely. Did you talk about some of the challenges that you've been having?
Oh, most of the challenges that we deal with right now are not in my backyard type situations. Everybody wants affordable housing, but nobody wants it near them. Or really BSy zoning issues, like, hey, yeah, I'll sell you those 9 blighted lots, but even though there used to be 9 houses on that property, I'm only going to allow you to put 3 or 4. That's the kind of stuff I'm dealing with now. And then being ghosted by a mayor, that's another problem I had. But the problems are just little road bumps. You always get over it and move on and continue.
Most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. Well, hopefully we can continue on working with these, community leaders and kind of get them on board. I know it's a lot of initiatives for affordable housing, so hopefully everybody kind of get on board with that, because it's getting ridiculous.
We are looking to do a 21 or 31 city, I don't remember how many cities it was, but there's a tour that's about to start with Hype Magazine. And we're going to partner up with them, I believe, to go on tour with them and pitch to a whole bunch of mayors and congressmen and senators and folks. That should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was talking about that with Mr. Green. I was hoping to have him on today, but yeah, we definitely
I thought he was going to be on too.
Yeah, we was talking about actually figuring out how we can make it make sense with getting us on as well, and getting some of our members a part of it as well. So yeah, that's where it's at, being able to kind of move around. That's why we're in a process of getting more mobile hubs and different things like that, so we can cover more ground. We got to cover more ground. That's just the bottom line. The internet is great. It's a great tool, but as you all know, you can get shadow banned for whatever, if it's not, all about their agenda. So we also have to have other options as well, far as being able to move around and get in the right rooms as well. So that's the reason why we have our groups and different things like that, and we spread more awareness on what's going on throughout these different markets. So we can get you guys involved and get you in the right rooms. That's what it's all about. So who's next? Who's next? Can I get Cedrica on real quick?
Hold on, I'm unmuting. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. My name is Cedrica, and my business is the Welcome Society. We carry a variety of items. Our staple items are our blue light glasses, which are a stylish, prescription-ready blue light glass that allows for you to not only use them as blue light, but you can actually put your prescription in her glasses. Our other product is our concealed carry handbags, which are one of our newer products. We are working to create awareness for gun safety by having a bag that actually has an external pocket that locks to protect tiny hands and sticky fingers from having access to the contents of that area. Our holster is removable, so people can also utilize it for medications, things that they need to store away and keep away from prying hands. So with our locking zipper, you can only unlock our zipper if you have the key. And then we have our hat cases, which are a hard shell hat case that carries cowboy hats as well as fedoras. And we also have a ball cap case, and we will soon be selling firearms shortly. So that is my business. One of the challenges that I have right now is that my business is growing and I'm going to need to hire people to do things. And in today's society, they don't make people like they used to, and you have to be very mindful of who you hire with what I do. And so it's just finding the appropriate people to be able to trust to do what needs to be done. Like I think the young lady A said earlier, where she was having an issue with she does everything and it feels like she's not sure if she wants to expand because it's going to require her to do look at other things because it's going to be more work, and I'm in that place where I know that I'm going to have to hire people. It's just being able to relinquish and trust people to do their job. That's where I'm at in my walk, but I understand where she is because I literally am there now.
I've been there as well. I think the biggest thing with that, I think one of the solutions is, coming up with a vetting process. And that's going to always change. I've had so many different structures and vetting processes and forms, and I think over the years I've learned to also ask the right questions, and then having a structure to where you already know what the duties are. Just like what I was saying with Ace, figuring out what positions is needed most, and what duties are those positions. I think I talk about this more with artists, recording artists, because a lot of the times they hire people like managers who are not qualified because they don't know that they're not qualified. They just know that they're they know the title, but sometimes you don't know all of the duties that comes with that. And with that, it leaves problems and it leaves misconceptions, and then you burn bridges. So I think with that, figuring out what duties are actually needed of these people and making expectations clear will help you find the right people and keep the right people as well. Because sometimes you can have the right person on your team, but you got them doing the wrong job. And then you burn that bridge, or they just move on. So figuring that out, is key. I think, and then figuring, I think a lot of the times I figured it out by, just bumping my head. That's why we really got to the point where we're at, where we're providing different resources. But especially with the when it comes to content creation, and it's a lot of garbage videographers and photographers out here. I get horror stories almost every day about how somebody paid money and never got what they was expecting, or expectations wasn't clear, or just had a straight up no show. I've had it done to me, which led me to just like, we're just gonna start our own production company. It takes longer to do it on your own. It's a lot of and it's harder, but we took that sacrifice, and now we're in a position to where we can give this type of advice and share these different types of resources, because we know that it's hard to find. It's hard to find good people that's really just going to show up and really just meet expectations. So we all been there. Pretty sure we all got our horror stories. So yeah, let's sit down and and let's have another call and figure out exactly what needs to be done, what boxes need to be checked off, and what pieces we need to put in place.
Also, just FYI, I reposted the link in the chat for the International Business Conference for Atlanta Black Chambers. We are going to have businesses coming in from all over the world that are Black businesses to be able to teach us in the United States how to deal and do business with our brown brothers and sisters in other countries like Africa, the Haiti, South America, Canada, and the islands. I think we got the Dominican and some other places that are going to be present for us to be able to work together to try to bring our businesses together for import and export of goods, services, and things of that nature. So if you're interested in attending, the link is for you to fill out the form for an invite to let us know if you're interested and if you want to participate. There's also an area on the application for you to sign up to be a vendor. We are going to have a marketplace for that. So please look into it. It's going to be a great conference. They're going to have a pitch session where people are going to be able to pitch to all of these different people from these different countries. There's a lot of different businesses that are coming to share what they have to share about their country. So I did the Columbia business matchmaking program. Columbia has a program that they've been doing for over 100 years, or for 100 years. It was a 100-year anniversary, and it was really great. So I'm hoping that we have the same success that Columbia had with their matchmaking, and we can make this an annual thing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Definitely want to. I know we got some members, and I definitely want to get involved with the pitching, and then yeah, or maybe vending as well. So I love that you put the link as well. So I appreciate you putting for sure.
No problem.
No problem. Thank you, L.
Hey, look, I did it this time. Found it quicker. Hey everybody, I'm El Secular. The brand is Secular Collections, and I'm an artist. I've been a behind the scenes artist, for a long time. Behind camera, behind people, like I like being the light that helps the star shine. And I write music, and it's very difficult because I'm finding myself in a position now to come forward and be in the front of things now. With that said, I have just dissolved a trucking business. I got my CDL 12 years ago in Atlanta, and I've been trucking like everything. I've got my own truck and trailer. So I was doing that for a couple years. And then this past year, I just had to dissolve it. It was too much. And I agree with Ace. It's so much doing, you're doing it by yourself. And for me, I'm in the business of actually healing, not helping. And I'm not saying that, people don't need help, but I don't know how to, I guess my challenge is, I know money. Like I know how to, I've taken my score from 400 to a 799 in a year. You know what I mean? I know how to get business money. I know how to, I've learned so much. I've learned how to take this skill and turn it into a whole, self-made business and everything. But for me, I'm told to heal people. And so I've really had to just dissolve this business, knowing like I could put in a couple more years, get this amount of money, do this and do that. And it's like, God is like, no, you are a healer and you have this light inside of you. So now I'm taking this behind the scenes thing and turning it into a brand. And I don't know anything about marketing healing. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I love you, Tribe. Like philosophy, it's like I can learn a lot from her. but I just don't see it for myself. I don't, like I said, I'm in the business of healing, and sometimes I just want to give this out for free. And I don't know how to, you know what I mean? Like I could just go get a load and do this and that. Like I'm so used to business and money, and I'm so good with saving my money, doing all this stuff. And even now, because my business credit, I didn't have established business credit. It was connected to my personal credit. So with dissolving it, I've literally, like, I'm going to need some, who's the guy we were talking about the tax info? Like, I'm going to need to talk to y'all about some, getting my business credit back up, or like instead, like getting myself back together. And I'm gonna share this here. I want to be real with y'all right now. And Fee, you spoke about obedience earlier, and you know me, I'm so obedient and I'm very disciplined. I'm so disciplined, y'all. I'm not homeless. Like I have a home in Rock Hill, South Carolina. But tonight I will be sleeping outside because this new job that I started, it's just not feasible to get back home right now. It's not, it's not working out time-wise, money-wise, So when everybody leaves the yard, I sleep in the trucks. You know what I mean? At night. And this is me. This is who I am. I'm very obedient. So I do want to just add in, y'all just continue to be disciplined, obedient, because your circle will come. And I do have a high standard. I am with you, Fee. Like if it's not delicious, I don't want it. So for me, it's difficult also because, I am queer. I am transgender nonconforming. And this is new to the community. This is like, it's so, for me, I'm having a problem getting in front of the camera, getting in front of, you know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like sometimes I'm just this bizarre case. This is a bizarre, you know what I mean? And it's just hard to come to spaces like this because I don't see myself here. We're not here. People aren't using they, them pronouns. People aren't seeing, this gender nonconforming person. I come through, I look like, people just trying to guess what I am. And it's like, I have so much to give. And I feel like I'm just having a problem with, like she said, expanding and putting myself out there. But I know it's here. It's right here in the circle. And it's about discipline. So I wanted to share that story with y'all about where I am physically, not like to be like vulnerable or to ask for funds or anything. It's like, I know I have a plan, and this is about strength, y'all. And we have it. But that's one of my struggles, is putting my physical self out there, knowing I just love being behind the scenes. That's my thing. I've literally enjoyed that. So I don't know how to market myself. I don't know how to market healing. I don't know how to, you know what I mean? It's tough. That's where I am.
Man, you know what? We relate in so many different ways. Because for the longest it was hard for me to, it's all about stepping outside of your box and getting vulnerable. And it's so hard, especially, I'm an introvert and I come from a place where, you hide your life. We're in a new world where everything, you put your life out there now. And it seemed like, it is what you have to do. You have to get vulnerable, but also, put yourself around people that you can get vulnerable with, and put yourself in environments. Even like when we did with, we produced Dr. O After Dark, and she's a trauma therapist, and I know it's a stigma behind therapy, so that's the main reason why we went that route, as far as creating and producing a podcast around it and creating a safe space, because we did it in, we didn't do we didn't do it the standard way, as far as getting a film studio or nothing like that. We did it right at her office. And we created a safe space for people to come in and get vulnerable with her, as well as, her get vulnerable with her audience. And it really allows people to connect in another way, because just like what you were saying, like it's a new space. And that's really the reason why it may be, your calling to step out and be vulnerable for the people that's in your position as well, because there's millions of them, and that's what it's all about, catering to your and to the people that God put you on this earth to cater to and be a purpose to. It's all about the world and what they think. You're always gonna have, you know what I'm saying? People gonna always say crazy shit. It's just what it is. You get what I'm saying? It don't matter what you're doing. It don't matter I'm pretty sure every single one of us that has something crazy said about us on this call. But it's all about, really catering to the people that you recollect with, that you connect with, that relates to you, and it'll save somebody's life. You know what I mean? By you being vulnerable.
I'm sorry to cut you. That's really where I am. And this stuff is incredible. Like, Fee, you've been watching this story unfold, and to see people in my inner circle to just believe and to see the story, like, just step out. It's bigger than me. And I know it's gonna sell. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about that, but I don't see it. I don't know how to sell it. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? I'm better with numbers. I'm better with, let's go get the bag, let's go drop this load, let's go. And I don't know anything about selling healing. I'm like, what is this? I'm child, please. I was the one at the parties to get you messed up. Now I'm trying to tell people to heal. This is, I don't, it's tough, man. Like, so that's where I'm at. But Secular Collections, y'all, we here to collect, create, and celebrate,
I love it. I love it. Maybe we should have maybe we should create a podcast or something around, because I feel like you have a great personality. I think that would be, I think you would be great.
Thank you. A reflection of y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's good to be here. Good to be here.
Let's talk about, we're going to talk about that podcast later. I'm going to push you into that.
I'm stepping with you, yeah.
That might be your calling right there. Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? I appreciate you, though. Who we got, though? Tommy, you still on?
Yeah, brother. I'm just listening, absorbing, learning. Didn't want to talk too much because it's technically my first day really engaging with the group, but I was more observing than anything else. I don't want to talk a bunch of bullshit and not know what the hell I'm talking about.
You good. I mean, and that's what it's all about. It's all just learning from each other. I definitely want you to, talk about, your company and talk about some of the challenges you've been having.
For some of y'all don't know, my company's name is Tommy's Tasties. Right now, I'm focused on selling my tacos. Some of my tacos are some of the best tacos from what at least I keep hearing so frequently. But my biggest challenge right now is that the pop-ups I've been doing is very sparse. When I was doing business up in Philadelphia, uh, everything was very compact. The cities, even though it was a huge population, it was very compact. So I would find many opportunities to do pop-ups, and uh, people would start to recognize me for my branding and my food and all that because I would do pop-ups so frequently. But here, because everything is so sparse, I would have to drive out an hour in the middle of nowhere and do events, and nobody really knows who I am. So nobody's really wanting to engage or buy my food. So it's harder to really sell food. Most of the time, whenever, I could be a good salesperson, I can literally talk to anybody to convince them to buy my tacos. And then obviously they'll love my product. They'll be like, yo, this is literally some of the best food I've had. And I think that's where my marketing needs to cater to. Like, I think my marketing group of people are foodie, people who don't eat food because, they just want food. I want people who eat the food and enjoy the food. So some of my marketing brands, as far as with my food, is I don't typically put my menu and stuff like that in like a styrofoam box, like how most people typically do it. I do it with a presentation where people walk around and they see, oh wow, this guy has like a cool looking box. It's not just like a regular whatever, It's like, oh, where'd they get their food from? So I distinguish that. I spend a little bit more money so that way people can see the sophistication behind the food. It's not just me just trying to cook and make money. I'm really trying to build a culture behind my food. So some of my biggest challenge right now is being able to find the right network and selling to the right people. Maybe if I could do a food festival, or go to places where foodies, people want to experience different types of food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm still kind of new in the city, so this is my first summer here, so I can't really find the right network to really, get the ball rolling. I know I did a thing recently with what's that, John? The ATL bonfire. I don't know if y'all familiar with that. So I did that for a little bit. I probably did like 2 events right in the beginning. So the second event did relatively well. So I was selling food really well, but I couldn't really work with the people who was managing it because they didn't really seem professional as far as like, they were more focused on like the partying and building their brand as opposed to really helping other vendors out. Eventually I kept reaching out and asking them like, hey, I've been trying to book an event. Can I do it? Da, da, da. And they weren't as persistent as they should have been. I guess they didn't take me as serious because they have a lot of people popping up in their thing. So it's just kind of like, all right, well, I'm not gonna keep, trying to push my brand because I was trying to be nice to them too, literally to all the hosts to the event because I have a thing where I try to make an impression where I always give out free food to the hosts when I'm meeting them for the first time. So it's just kind of like, hey, I'm trying to build more of a relationship than me really making money right now. Because the reality of any business is you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff for free, almost for free, to where eventually you're gonna be able to get to where you need to be. So if y'all know any pop-ups that mainly focuses on food or like art and something that's more serious as far as like an actual culture rather than the party life, I would definitely love that. uh I did 2 events this past weekend and it's crazy because the Saturday event that I did, literally 500 people showed up at that event and nobody bought food from any of the vendors. And then for Father's Day, I also did another event for a kickball event. Um, every individual who bought my food loved it. They're like, "Whoa, I never had anything like this." They followed me on IG. They went out of the way and followed me on the IG and everything, and that I appreciated. But it was just kind of like the surrounding cares because there was a point where I was literally trying to give up free food, and I was playing a game with people. It's like, "Hey, there's this spin the wheel thing on my phone. If you tap it, whatever it lands on, you get for free." And people were even rejecting that. They're like, "Oh no, no, I'm good. I'm good." I was like, people are literally rejecting food. So I think it's just the surrounding that I need to really put myself out there. So even though yes, I do have pop-up opportunities, I want to make sure I'm in the right places rather than just doing it and praying that I hope I get some sort of money. Like I'd be happy if I get my inventory money back. You know what I'm saying? At least I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. But like I said, I just need the right network. I got all my licenses. I got my serving certified certificate. I got literally everything going. Like I'm really serious about my business, but like I said, I need the network. That's the more challenging part. And potentially, if I can have a foodie come out and try my food, and then have them give me a review and what they think of it and stuff like that, that would help out a lot too.
Yeah, that definitely would. That's definitely in right now. We would just have to. I think the next step with that is creating a list of different influencers that you would like to taste your food, and then us have the whole community like us, just really tagging under that because that's really we got to get their attention, tagging
Yeah.
will post, DMing them. And then I know we got a few different experiences that we would love to have you at, like the glamping experience, definitely I think
Mm.
I think target audience as well is what you want to focus on because like you were saying, you're already getting a taste of it your first summer here. There's a lot of different events that, hey, just because it's a name behind it or it's a lot of people there, that don't absolutely mean you're gonna do well. And that's the biggest misconceptions a lot of the times when you got business owners that's vending, they think like, oh well, let me go to this popular event, I'm gonna make my money in, and then they pay these ridiculous vending fees and then they barely break even. Um, or they go to an actual something that's a little smaller and they set out. I've seen it. We've actually done experiences where people come. Maybe it wasn't even just that. It wasn't even that many people, but it was all about the experience and the vibe and the type of people that was there. Where our vendors didn't leave with anything. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's definitely figuring out, who is your target audience so you can maybe figure out, well, where do they came get exactly and pinpoint exactly, what type of events, we should be looking on the lookout for. That way, you can kind of start, really capitalizing a little bit more on the vendor aspect of it. But definitely figuring out a list, getting a list together of different influencers that you want to, do the reviews. Even like what we was doing when we first met, it was something, different, creating different clips like that, and maybe
Mhm.
your own digital, you become the influencer, or us going to different places to get different people reactions, and maybe get funny reactions, make it entertaining. You just never know who you might run into getting a good reaction. What celebrity you might end up running into to get a good reaction. Different things like that will also help as well.
Yeah, no, I actually, and that's the thing too, man. I keep bumping into people who tells me they're gonna help me out or do all this stuff, but then they're literally just trying to get free food. I think that day when I met you, there was also another individual that was a bouncer at Magic City, and she actually had a huge following because she was a bouncer at Magic City, and she told me that she was gonna try to get me a spot in front of Magic City. So I ended up giving her food. Well, at least my brother-in-law convinced me. I was like, "Yo, just keep giving her food, bro, because Magic City is like the biggest place." Da, 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 da. I was like, "Okay, cool." So, you know, she was showing me love by just kind of like taking a picture and sharing it and whatever, but she never really responded back or say like, hey, I could probably get you a spot here. But it was just literally all talk because it was kind of like I'm the new guy and nobody really cares like that. I guess I don't have that hype yet for her to really mess with me. So I guess she, even though she did give me the shout out, she was just using her popularity to kind of like get free food out of me instead of really trying to help me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta watch those people that be doing all the name dropping and stuff like that. But it's a gamble. You get what I'm saying? But I think, like I said, it goes back to your target audience. Who are you trying to, are you trying to market to people that go to Magic City, or who are you trying to, I know you want everybody to eat your food, but sometimes you really want to start off, pitch it down, to where you go really just concentrate, and really just kind of differentiate who you give free food to or who you sell it to. You know what I'm saying? If they look like the type of people that you're trying to market to, then yeah, but like time it's just like finding a niche will really help you as well. Figuring that out, kind of help you really first stop wasting a lot of time as well, and then capitalize on the time that you is spending out here, and the money that you're spending, to get the ingredients for your food.
Yeah. Um, I know one of my biggest things is literally the social media. A lot of times, whenever I want to try new food, I would always, scan through social media so I could focus more on branding through like Instagram because, like I said, when I was back in Philly, uh, a lot of people recognized me because of my social media. I had one video that literally went viral because I was making my tacos, and then people started recognizing me off the street. So even though, yeah, like a lot of times when people approach my pop up, they're like, "Yo, I thought you were an artist just because everything's so vibrant and colorful and da da da." I was like, "Yeah, well, the food is the culture, so that's what I'm trying to brand right now."
Yeah.
So I think one thing I need to really focus is kind of like narrate while I'm like cooking the food or having people eat, because I know a couple of places that I'd be watching because my cousin sent me a video of this one place where they make like birria everything, and they were saying like, "Oh, it's literally the best tacos out here in Philadelphia." So he obviously was enticed from it, and he went out to go try it, and he said it was absolute garbage compared to our food. I was like, "You're not being biased, right?" He's like, "No, seriously, like our food is so much better than theirs." So I think with the right type of marketing and the video, because nowadays everybody has a very short mindset or a short attention span. So if I could do just a 1 minute video of me cooking everything, like the video you did with when you did the interview with me, and how you did a quick cut and it showed me cooking the food and stuff like that, almost kind of like a documentary style. Like that's dope. So if I could do something like that and have somebody narrate over my food, potentially like a foodie, somebody who has like a semi following, or just anybody who wants to really show love, um, I could just do a quick edit, and then have them send it to TikTok, and then I can give them a couple lines to read, or they can make up their own lines, and then they can just record it and just reshare it that way. You know what I'm saying?
A few different ways that we could do it. Let's put together some days. We're gonna put together our outline we're gonna put together some content days to where we can really just, make it happen. There's a few different ways that we can really kind of do it better as far as like having the time, and we can get more content, even if you interview and get different responses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put that together.
Yeah, I think another thing that I need right now is obviously I'm trying, like my credit is straight. But if I'm gonna be like real with y'all, I just have like some credit cards I gotta pay off because that's um kind of hindering me in getting like an actual loan because I want to be able to get a food trailer so I can pull the food trailer around because it's more appealing to customers when you have something that looks shiny, like colorful and vibrant, as opposed to somebody just doing a pop up. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I've already talked to Mr. Fix It. I just texted him. So we're gonna see if we could potentially, work something out together and figure something out. So if I can pull out a loan and get that truck moving, then I'm also gonna need a base of operation because as much as I wanna, cook food at the crib, I don't want the wife like yelling at me. It's like, yo, there's cockroaches in the house. I was like, ah, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I don't want to do that. So two big moves I'm trying to do right now is get the food trailer and then get it base of operation. And once I get my base of operation, and if you guys are local, whatever, I know you got your crew as far as like your filming and stuff like that. So if you want to use the base of operation for like a stage or how I mentioned to you about like cooking the food and interviewing different musicians or artists and stuff like that, I think it'd be a dope content to kind of like put along with my Tommy's Tasties. It'd be like Tommy's Tasties interviews or M.O.B collab Tommy's Tasties. You know what I'm saying? That type of different job. But that's
That's
the direction I'm trying to move towards to get my food truck and then get my base of operation.
that's the route that you're gonna have to go. I mean,
Yeah.
the digital marketing behind it, food porn. I'm always watching food porn, bro. Like I'm one of those. I'm one
Yeah.
of those like if you go on my TikTok or anything like that, you see nothing but food. So that's really
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot of people that's coming up off their personality, as well, mixing that with what's going on, you mixing in the music. I think that's gonna really be a hit. So yeah, let's keep it moving though, man. I appreciate you though for sure.
Yeah, of course.
We'll
Of course.
put together our outline and you already linked in with Mr. Fix It. I know he's gonna get you together and be able to, analyze what's the next steps to kind of go, for you to really take once you analyze your credit report and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who we got? Jay, what's going on? I like the drink champs out there, especially people gonna love people, especially when they got something to do with food.
Yeah.
Jay, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Jay?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay. It's just not playing loud on my end. I don't know what's going on. But moral of the story, I am the owner, the founder, the whatever you want to call it for Black Bolt Energy Stations LLC. And nobody knows what that means. And I like that because, in about a year, I want to be that I mentioned before and why I look up to those businesses. So to give you a quick rundown of what I'm trying to do. Think about gas stations, but for electric cars. That's the next frontier that we're gonna have to try to take on. And I don't see any sense in waiting until I'm drowning to try to learn how to swim. So the two major hurdles or the two major challenges that I face often is networking and getting into the right rooms with the right people. And to put that in layman's terms or East Atlanta terms, I need to talk to the people that got the money. Okay. There are a lot of green energy grants. You go on grants.gov and I see all of these grants 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. I have my team lined up. Somebody mentioned earlier about, once you start, moving in that purpose, you're going to start basically interviewing people as they enter your life. I got my squad. I just need a shot. So segueing into the second portion is definitely the funding aspect, because it takes a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of money to get this project off the ground, because primarily I want everything to be solar powered. So you have to make sure that you pay attention to how much energy that you're producing, how much energy you're using, because not only you have to power the pumps, I got to power the building. Nobody wants to come to a business and the lights are off. So that's probably the two biggest hurdles. Credit wise, I'm kind of in the same boat as everybody else. I got pretty much the first leg completed because I didn't have great personal credit when I first started. And then I was like, oh, I got an EIN, I got a brand new credit. But just like being 18 or so, when you have new credit, you have no credit. So now that I've gotten my personal credit up, it's not as high as it used to be. But, I've gotten that up. It's like, hey, I still need the money to pull these other moves off as far as getting my building, getting my home base, my base of operations, getting, excuse me. Basically, like, everybody's been to a gas station before. You got to get those solar panels up kind of high, you got to be able to make sure that the panels are up high enough to get good sunlight, that the structure that it's attached to is actually up to code, that it's strong enough to hold that. And then somebody else mentioned, well, then you're gonna have to start hiring some people. So I'm trying to also the third head to that monster is just discipline, handling the first things first. Rome wasn't built in a day. We know that. Sometimes I'll get beside myself and I'll be like, well, I know it wasn't built in a day, but how much can I get done in a week? And, sometimes I have to, be like, hey man, slow down, pace yourself. This is a very long game. So those are pretty much the three things. Discipline, for myself is just saying, hey, this is where you're trying to get to. You don't exactly have the direct map to get there. So there's no sense in just burning yourself out in a tireless endeavor to get nowhere fast. Because also being the founder, being the entrepreneur, the guy, you have to lead by example. So I don't want people looking at me and going, well, he did it that way, so that's how he would want it done. It's like, no, I brought you in because you have a different perspective. You can teach me something. Just because I'm in charge don't mean I can't learn. But the funding aspect, I definitely need that. Because whether we like it or not, EVs are going to be the way of the future. Even though I still have two V8s, gas guzzlers, like to go fast. Woo! But I just sat back and kind of thought, like, well, one day if all these electronic vehicles take over, well, electric vehicles, not electronic, excuse me. If all these electric vehicles take over, they're gonna have to get fuel from somewhere. Why not me? Instead of just sitting back waiting on somebody else to have that idea, waiting on somebody else to do that, I'm like, well, God kind of put it on my heart or on my mind rather to be like, hey man, you can do that. And then the last thing is just networking. A lot of times when I'm out in public, I'm very unserious. Like I like to crack jokes a lot. I like to, just keep people's spirits up. But getting into these rooms with the people that I can actually talk to, hopefully influence. I'm very charming, so I've been told, whatever that means. You put me in a room with 10 millionaires, I'm not coming out broke, I tell you that. So those are the three things: funding, networking, and discipline. And then when you're going through it without a blueprint, I can say like, well, I use a lot of analogies as well. It's like, okay, well, I want to have Steph Curry's jump shot. I want to be able to dunk like Jordan. I want to have the body build. It's like, yeah, what you're building technically has never been built before. So there isn't a direct one-for-one comparison to be like, oh, I could do it exactly like that, because it hasn't been done before, or it's not been mass produced, to the scale that I wanted. Because I want Black Bolt energy stations to be just as common as a Quick Trip or Shell or whatever. Like, when you hear that name, you're like, oh yeah, I know what that is. That's what I'm aspiring to do. So those are my 3 points, so 3 challenges points, and that's it.
And I wish you actually I'm gonna reach out and see when they having another EV day, because I know we did an EV day at City Hall, and Cece, one of our members, she was actually on here earlier, but she was actually was able to make it to that, and it was basically surrounding the industry that you're in, as far as power stations for electric cars, electric vehicles. And they had they had a couple of Teslas outside. They had the Cybertruck outside, and a whole bunch of other like EV, uh, you know, uh, I was gonna say EV building, same, but they had a lot of EVs outside, just showing them they were doing test drives. It's definitely an industry that's about to bloom. So I think you're definitely in the right industry. Um, and you're right. You definitely it's really a ball game. It's politics. It's all about who you know. It's a lot of funding. I think any type of tech. It's a lot of money that goes into it. But I think it's also something that crowdfunding can kind of help out with. I don't know if you're already doing crowdfunding, as well as I think you should definitely get a nonprofit, because what you're doing is helping the community as well. Um, and then, on top of that, we can, host, just like EV Day, we can host different panels, different workshops. They kind of talk about the importance in that technology, and really kind of spread more knowledge. And I know it's a lot of grants out there for project-based workshops and stuff like that. So I think, that's something that we could talk about. But yeah, I think, you getting your nonprofit, and then also linking that with other nonprofits, which is something that we're doing right now, to access some of these grants, to do some crowdfunding, some fundraisers, have, even with these workshops that we can put on and produce, but just, even with the people on here, we can all come together and, put together these workshops, and that could be one discussion. And then, we can have people, donate, and, or we can have different things that we can sell, or, just different incentives for them to fund the initiative. Do you have a business plan for this?
Yes, I actually have the business plan. I have my logo. I have my website is currently being built. I've already scouted a couple of properties that I know that I want. That's the other thing, is location, location, location. As much as I would love to put it in one of my neighborhoods, I don't know if that would be the place to put it. It's like planting a rose in a closet. It can grow, but it's probably a little bit more difficult. Something else that I really wanted to do, and it was interesting that I forget his name, the guy from Philly. No disrespect, I just forgot your name. Don't hold it against me. I would also like to have like food trucks and other vendors come there, because unlike going to get gas, that's probably a 5-10 minute process tops. You're gonna be there charging for a little while. So having food trucks, having vendors, having people come in and just kind of be in the parking lot.
Yeah, that would be
They
good.
may create, like they may create foot traffic for me to be like, wait a minute, I thought this was a gas station. Well, kind of, but not really. Or I may create foot traffic for them in their food business.
Right.
Or they may do, I think somebody said that they do like holistic medicine. I don't know if that's the proper term. Charges to my head, not my heart. But I just don't see the point of me being the only one to make it out. If I can, like, me being a billionaire is not that impressive, when I could have made $100 million and made 9 other people $100 million as well. I believe that's a bigger flex than just being like, well, I'm one billionaire,
Right.
and not, well, myself and 9 of my friends or business partners or whatever. It's only 2 steps to getting rich: wait for the money to be printed, go get it. So, yeah, so I have that, working, got that cooking up. I just kind of just need to get in line with the people that, kind of make these decisions. Be like, hey, this is something we know we're going to need. Because to my knowledge, I don't know if I'll be first, but I want to be first. I'm really just trying to beat like California and all of those people because they'll be like, "Oh, we had it first, and the East Coast got it." I'm like, "Hey, why not me? Why not Atlanta? Why not us?" So yeah, that's my frame of mind.
One of my things is not about who did it first, it's about who do it right. And, especially if you're doing it right, you're doing it for the right cause, putting other people in position. Something that you're talking about, can easily be done here, even in your neighborhood. Everything is adapting, especially if you can find some good real estate here in the game. And really just get in with people that know the technology, want to get with other people that's in this industry. That's the biggest thing about it. So I'm gonna let you know about the next EV day that they do. If they're doing another one, that would be that's definitely the one that you should be in. And it was crazy. We got one of the recaps actually on our website. You can actually check out the recap. We had the mayor there. So it's definitely just I didn't even know it was that big of an industry until I did that event. So just seeing where it's going, it's definitely going to be a huge industry. I think we're in at the right time, especially with AI, just different things like that. But yeah, just want to make sure you have, you already got like a pitch deck put together.
You said do I have what put together?
Pitch deck.
A pitch what?
Pitch deck. I'm gonna send you see if I can find an example.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with that term, so I probably do, and I just called it something else, or maybe I don't have it, but that's something that I need to get better. Hey, gotta crack eggs to bake a cake.
Oh yes, sir. Now I'm definitely interested in that. That's a whole definitely get into that industry. So most definitely, I'm gonna link you up with some people as well, to kind of help with the pitch deck and all that good stuff. Because when you meet these investors or get these situations to where you're pitching this idea, but that's another way that you can also get the funding. They got a bunch of different pitch competitions and different things like that. You want to have, you already want to have your pitch together and something that you can email them, that looks good and to really just get their attention. And I think we could definitely get this funded, bro. Get some investors involved and, get it off the ground. I love it. Who else we got on here? I appreciate you, King. Who else we got on here? Who else we got? I want to keep it moving on.
Let me just say something real quick. The young man that just got done talking about the charging stations, please fill out to come to the conference because we're going to have those types of businesses and opportunity and for investors and stuff. And it's not till October, so you got plenty of time to get your pitch deck
I'm already signed up. I'm already signed up.
Yeah, and you can so that you can actually pitch during because it's going to be so many people in the room, and I know that somebody would really pick that up.
Definitely, for sure.
And it's international, so you could get picked up. Like somebody from another country could even want to be interested in your idea. So I'm glad that you signed up.
That's what it's all about, connecting those dots. That's what it's all about. You just never know. This might be the connection just right here that you needed to really just take it to the next level. So hey, that's what it's all about. Taking that leap of faith and being obedient. I think that's the key word for today. Being obedient. Obedience. That's the key word. So who we got? Who we got? Q. Unmute yourself real quick. Talk about your business. I know we just got your business plan together. So I'm definitely excited about what you're doing.
Hey, yes, I'm super excited about my business plan. Thank you. I read it over. I was like, yay. But anyways, yeah, so I have a swimwear business that I'm working on. I've actually been working on it for a long time. I just don't have the time to just really go 100% with it because of life, but I'm really trying to knock that down now. So I got my LC. I finally got my business plan. So now I'm really working on more of like finding a vendor and funding for my business. And shoot, my end finishing goal is to have a building and have it in multiple states, like all the rest of these stores, like Frost and DD's and things like that, them type of stores. But I'm just not only trying to just sell swimwear. I want to have family wear. I want to have, swimwear gear. I want to have surfboards. I want to have fishing. Just it's. I wanted to go over and beyond than just having swimwear, because that's what everybody do. They just have swimwear and that's it. They don't give you the accessories. They don't give you the things that you need to go to a beach. So that's my goal. So that's what I'm working on. And it's about finding a vendor and finding someone to actually design the things that I want. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Have you thought about learning how to design it yourself? So how to sew yourself?
Yeah, I thought about that. I really did. I actually said this not too long ago to my mother-in-law, because she does crochet and she do like embroidery and she don't sew, but I
Yeah.
was just literally talking to her about getting a sewing machine and trying to learn how to sew, myself and design my own swimwear. But that would definitely take some dedication and time for that, for sure.
That's the name of the game. And I also have one of my mentors. I can link you up with Naima. She's actually from Detroit as well. But she has a lot of connections as far as different designers that she can link you up with that can actually whip up exactly what you want. She got a bunch of different, techniques on getting designs made, from all the way from just taking it from a piece of fabric to, literally all the way down to, what you envision and what you draw up. So that could be another,
Mm-hmm.
all about getting, we definitely got to get you with Mr. Fix It, just to kind of see where you guys are at, as far as like, figuring out different ways to get more funding. 'Cause, I mean, we all in the same boat, that's where sometimes you just hit that ceiling, and it's kind of hindered to reach that next step because of, a little funding that you need. So that's why we're trying to get everybody in position and getting your business structured right. That's a
Right.
big thing, like getting everything structured, checking off every single box. So when you get to that, um, opportunity, you can actually take advantage of the opportunity. You can meet an investor tomorrow, but if you ain't got your business structure right, they're gonna be like, oh no, I don't think I'm gonna invest in this. You get what I'm saying? 'Cause
Right. Mm-hmm.
something as simple as you ain't never already got your website, or it's just little stuff like that that people look into. You know what I mean? They look up.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't already got a business address, a business email, just little stuff like that that people look into. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes somebody can just like who you are as a person and just want to invest. That's another thing, like, and that's why I always push putting your story out there, getting vulnerable enough to put your story out there, because you just never know. It's a lot of different miracles that can really just get worked out for you by people just being able to relate to you, and just and loving who you are as a person. I can't stress this enough. If you have any type of brand, any type of business, any type of product, put your story out there. Let's get vulnerable. That's why we've been doing more interviews. We've been interviewing more, and just really just storytelling more. Because there's a lot of different great stories out there. I think we all got a story, that somebody can relate to, and that's something that I had to learn and overcome as well, because I hated talking about my past. And just hated talking about it. And the more we did it, I really started to motivate more people, and that's what it's all about. Motivating the next person, and passing on that light to that next person, and you'll get repaid. You'll get repaid in so many different ways. You'll get blessed in so many different ways. So, telling your story, man, is really where it's going to really pay off. And then kind of really just taking off everything else and making sure you got all your, and then once it take off, now you're prepared for that, because I've seen that happen a lot of times where people business take off too fast when they're not prepared, and then they end up becoming overwhelming for them as well. So it's definitely a such thing as that as well.
Mm.
Got Cedrica, I know you got your hand up. You got your hands up still?
Yeah. I wanted to let the young lady know that just spoke. There's a design software. I don't know if you have an Apple device or access to one, but it's called Pret a Template. That's what I use to design my bags. Also too, there will be manufacturers at the conference that could take your designs and manufacture them according to what you like and also help you with your designs. So
can you put that in the chat so I can get that out?
Please put that in the chat.
Yeah, I put it in there. I was looking at, because I knew it was Pret, but I wasn't sure what the other part of it, so I just found it. But I do use that, and you can design shoes on it. You can design handbags, backpacks, t-shirts.
Cool.
You can do all kind of designs on it, and it's not expensive either.
And then the conference. When is the conference?
It is the first weekend in October. So I think it's the 2nd through the 5th. I need to look at my calendar. I think it's the 2nd through the 5th though. And
Okay.
but yeah, so there will be manufacturers. Like I said, I've moved my manufacturing from China to Colombia because my product is a little different. It's just gonna take a minute for them to understand how to make it. But anybody else that's got like a simple product like what you have, they do an amazing job. A lot of their stuff is minimum order quantities are small, so you're not beating yourself in the head trying to get like the 300 that they require you to have out of China when people do, because it's really hard to find manufacturing in the United States. That was my initial, just with my business in general, was my initial triumph, was trying to find businesses that manufacture here in the United States.
Yep.
But I'm actually happy to be doing business with Colombia. It's a lot closer, so shipping is not horrible, and I have access. It doesn't cost me much to get there to be part of the process, and so that's where I'm at with it. But I will see what all of the other countries have to offer when they come for the conference. But right now, that's where I am. And if you want any more information, just just reach out. My Instagram is there, and I can give you more information about how to do business with Colombia.
That's what I love. That's what I love. See, that's what it's all about right there, connecting the dots. I love it. That's where we at. So I appreciate you guys. I don't want to hold you guys up too much longer. Another week, we did it again. We came together, we connected the dots, each one teach one. I'm actually leaving our links in the chat. If you want to become a member, you can go ahead and apply on our website. Also, if you would have a successful business or have grown a successful business and want to become a mentor and advisor, make sure you go ahead and apply. Or if you know somebody that would be a great fit as a member or as a mentor or advisor, make sure you guys send me the link. Actually, we challenge you guys to at least send 2 people our links tonight. You just never know. That's what it's all about. We just each one teach one, helping each other with different resources and figuring out how we can kind of come together and go together. I also put the Instagram broadcast channel group link in there. So if you haven't already joined our broadcast group on Instagram, make sure you guys join that. That's where we'll be posting the recap and the chat log to our brainstorming session every single week. So you guys can, if you just need to go find someone's link or website that you want to connect with, you guys will be able to do that. And also be able to run back the brainstorming session. Say, for instance, if you're working out or anything like that, it's always good. Just go back on this information. We're dropping a lot of free jewels and a lot of gems, and connect with a lot of people from all over. So make sure you guys join that Instagram group, and just make sure you guys continue being great. If you guys have any questions or concerns for me, contact me directly. Our contact info is on our website. And I appreciate you guys for getting on another week and staying consistent every single week. I appreciate you guys if it's your first time on Hey, we Mob for Life. Hey, and again, if you guys need any questions answered about our memberships or about our mentor or advisories positions, please just let me know. Reach out. I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys continue on being great. You guys be safe out there.
Oh, okay. This is Angel.
Hey.
I just want to let everyone know that we are doing a pre-launch for my book, Wifedom, showing women their responsibility in the community. It's going to be on this Sunday. And if my number is in the chat, if you text me, I can send you the link and the flyer for everyone to share.
Perfect. Yeah, and post the link in the chat too. So as I share the chat line, that people will be able to access the link in the chat line.
All right. Well, I need people to text me so that I can send it out to them because it's a flyer and we can't put flyers into the chat.
Perfect. Alrighty. Well, I'll talk to you guys shortly.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you. Everybody continue.
Y'all be blessed tonight.
You as well.
Have a good night, Mob.
Good night.